Have you done this before? Bedroom window. Mom would be calling them soon to go feed the animals before breakfast. Breakfast. Oh, what are we having for dinner tonight? Did I put the meat in the crock pot? I don't think I did. Okay, I think I gotta go do that. I'll be right back. Or maybe this looks familiar. Okay, too much to do today, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait until I feel like doing it, because I don't feel like doing it right now. Hey guys, I'm Ashley. Welcome here to Joyful Noise Learning. I'm a homeschool mom to 3 kiddos, and I love sharing here on my channel about Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool and helping you with your biblically based or affordable curriculum while you might be a scattered and easily distracted homeschool mom. Maybe you're like me and you're easily distracted, or you feel scattered, or maybe you possibly have ADHD and it is hard to manage being a homeschool mom with that. I completely get it. I felt like a hot mess for a long time, but I want to share with you 10 quick tips today. If you are a scattered homeschool mom, these are going to help you today. So let's get into it. First one is know your why. What do I mean by that? You've probably heard it before, but what is your purpose for homeschooling? Why did you decide to homeschool in the first place? The reason you'll want to know this is because every time you are picking curriculum, or you're planning your lessons for some time, you're picking books, or you're picking which activities you want your kids to do outside of the house, you need to remember why you chose to homeschool. Then it can help you decide and narrow down everything that you're doing and make sure you're picking the right things so you're not getting easily distracted by all the cool stuff out there, because it can be easy to get distracted. There's so many cool stuff out there, guys. But knowing your why is my first quick tip. The second quick tip for the scattered homeschool mom is going to be know your priorities. So is that kind of the same as your why? Probably. I guess why is your overall arching motivation for why you're homeschooling. Priorities are, okay, what do we need to do right now? Like, what is our priority for the day? What is our priority for maybe the week? Or what is our priority for this season, for, the next 3 months or so? Because sometimes I know I can look at my day and I can see an entire list of all the things that gotta get done. There's the laundry, or there's the dishes, or there's the school, or there's the project for science at co-op. There's all the things that have to get done. If I can prioritize what are the main things we need to focus on, then that helps me a whole lot more. And then I can focus on something and we can get it done in a timely manner for the most part. So I'm all about helping my brain to focus better, and knowing what those priorities are and deciding on that before I'm in the moment helps me filter through the rest of the day and the rest of the week. So pick your priorities. Again, I recommend picking priorities for your day. Also pick your priorities for the week, and then pick a few priorities that you want to focus on for the next few months. Like, oh, I want my kids to work on their writing. We're going to do a whole lot in our writing. We're going to prioritize that. Or I want my kids to do swimming lessons this season. Or maybe we're prioritizing soccer this season, or not. Maybe we're not doing soccer so that we can stay home more. So hopefully that helps you focus on your priorities. My next tip for an easily distracted homeschool mom is to realize that you can't do everything. Are you with me on that one? Oh my gosh, it's so easy to get distracted when you think of all the cool things you can do. I love doing things. We love hanging out with friends. We love being a part of co-op. We love doing swimming lessons. There's a lot of things out there that we can do, but we have to remember we can't do it all. That is a huge lesson I've been learning lately, and I hope that encourages you to help you focus and do the main things that are most important for your family right now and your homeschool right now. Going along with that, cut back and simplify. I'm definitely a person who does not like to hear that. I'd rather stuff all the things in and do all the things, or do all the curriculum, because, oh yeah, there's so many cool things we can do, guys. But because there is so much, and because we can easily get distracted and not finish anything, I think it's better for me, I've noticed, if I do cut back and simplify and not try to squeeze 6 or 7 things in. Not try to do 4 or 5 history curriculums. Not try to do all the sports, all the activities. Cutting back and simplifying is another tip that helps me focus and to not be too distracted, and to make sure we're doing the main things that are most important for our homeschool right now. Oh, this is a fun one. You need to allow yourself to try something, but give yourself a deadline. Does that make sense? Sometimes, you know, maybe people like you and I, we just want something new. We just want something fresh. We get kind of bored with the same old, and it's okay to change things up. But sometimes we need to, you need to give yourself a deadline. You're like, okay, I'm going to try something new when we finish school and June comes. You know, you give yourself a deadline. Like, I'm going to continue finishing this curriculum for at least 6 weeks, and then we can stop and then we can try something new. Can you tell I've had experience with this a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit. Because otherwise, you know, you can be flip-flopping every week, you know, hey, I don't want to do that anymore, let's do this, or I don't want to do that anymore, let's do that. You know, you get that boredom itch or that discontentment itch, and then you want to try something new. So I think it's okay to try new things. Yes, mama, it's okay. Let yourself try new things, but don't do it every week or every day. Give yourself a deadline with what you're currently doing before you jump into something new. I do have a video where I talk about being more consistent, or will I ever be consistent in homeschooling. You can check that one out. I will link to that in the iCard above or in the description box below. That video might be an encouragement to you as well. Also, you're going to want to block your time into chunks. I heard someone say the other day they don't like hearing the word chunks. Makes them think of some other stuff. But so let's say blocks. Block your time into blocks. I have done other videos on this. I love talking about time blocking because it has changed my life so much. So when I view my time, instead of one big long to-do list or one long day or one long week, you break it up into smaller, manageable chunks, and you only focus on that one thing in each of those chunks, in each of those blocks. So when I'm doing school, I only focus on school. I gotta put my phone away, if you know what I mean, and phone needs to go in the bedroom when we're doing school. But I'm only focusing on the one thing, and then when that block is done, then we can focus on something else. So instead of me trying to multitask and think about, you know, 800 different things at one time, blocking my time into blocks has helped me focus and be present and available in that one time block. So you want to try that too. I love this tip. This one is very important. You got to plan for some breaks. You need to fit in some breathing room because you need time to let your mind wander and not be so disciplined to have to focus. Because after having, you know, several days of trying to focus on one thing at a time, my brain gets a little bit tired and it wants to run amok. It wants to go from one thing to the next. Maybe you're like me in doing that. So I've noticed if I allow some time, usually on Saturdays are a great day for that, where I don't schedule a lot of things and I allow some space for my mind to have some breathing room, to be able to go from one thing to the next and not worry about focusing so hard on staying in one spot. So when I allow breaks, that gives my mind just a break, just like any other thing you're taking breaks from. You take a break and then your mind is fresh and your brain is ready to work a little bit harder for, you know, the next coming week or whenever that is. So give yourself some room to just let your mind wander, to do the task that leads to the other task that leads to the other task that leads to the next one. That's fun. That's fun sometimes. You gotta let your brain just do it and not feel so forced to have to sit and do one thing at one time. So there you go. Oh, this one's a good one. Okay, don't beat yourself up if you get off task. Don't do it. If you get off the schedule, maybe you're not like this and you don't care about the schedule, but I care about the schedule sometimes. Like whether it's, you know, our day and what we're doing, or, you know, the curriculum schedule and we're behind and we're not on the right lesson that we're supposed to be on February 12th, you know, we're only on January 10th. Don't worry about it. Just start from where you are. There's no need to give yourself guilt and to beat yourself up if you do get off track, or if you do have a week where it's really hard to focus and you're just scattered all week and nothing got done. And it's okay. Just start from where you're at and just do the next thing. That might be the free bonus tip. So I do the next thing. If it's been a rough week, we just let it go and we pick up from where we left off. If you are a homeschool mom who doesn't like the grid planning because you always get off track from the grid and you want to just kind of do the next thing, I do have a planner for you. If you would like to check that out, I've got that in the link in the description below. And I've got a planner for the Living Books Homeschool Planner, and you can pick your own books and you can go at your own pace. You don't have to do the pace of what somebody else said. So if you want to check that out, I'll put that link down there for you. Next quick tip is to give yourself a clear end goal. I think that was number 8. Are we on number 8 now? I think so. Maybe 9. All right, number 9. Give yourself a clear end goal. It's important to have times when you know you can push hard to a certain point, and then it helps you have a deadline, right? For me, sometimes if I don't give myself a deadline on something, it doesn't get done. Because then I think, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just get to it when I get to it. But I never get to it. So whatever it is, whether it's for homeschool or home managing, it's helpful to give yourself a clear end goal or even a deadline. I guess those might be 2 different things, but the clear end goal, what is it supposed to look like in 4 weeks? You know, we're going to do school for 4 weeks straight and then we get a nice break, you know, things like that. Or we're going to finish the book that we're reading now and then we'll move on to the next thing. So if you have a clear end goal, sometimes it helps you in the monotonous and the mundane and not feel so scattered. You can finish that book that you're reading and then get on to the next one. Sometimes if I don't have a clear end goal, then I feel just hopeless and I have no motivation. So if you have to find something, even just one little thing for the day, you can give yourself a quick win. You know, my goal right now is to brush my teeth. And then, yay, I go brush my teeth. I did it. I had an end goal and I accomplished it. Then it kind of gives me a jolt of motivation and we're ready to go for the next task. So that might be another thing for you to try. Okay, here's my bonus tip. Bonus tip. This has been so good. Give yourself visual cues. And I'm definitely a visual person. You can look at my fridge and see all the stuff there. I have my planner on a clipboard. It's not in a book that you can close. It's on a clipboard that sits on my counter so I can see it there. If it's not there, it doesn't exist. I mean, if I don't see it, it feels like it doesn't exist, right? You can give yourself some visual cues. Write something on a sticky note and stick it where you're going to see it when you get up in the morning to remind yourself to print off your son's math papers or whatever. Or it's nice at the end of the day, set out your kids' school books or your books that you need for school the next day. Set it out on the table so it's ready to go and you see it there and it's a visual cue. Oh yeah, we got to get started with morning time at a decent time instead of wandering around all morning. Little things like that to help you give your brain a little reminder. I also use my phone sometimes. It gives me an actual like buzz on my watch and it'll remind me, okay, don't forget to whatever I needed to remember for that time. So that's my other tip there. And lastly, tip number 10 for the scattered, easily distracted homeschool mom is to do stuff with friends. I love this one because I love my friends. They help me so much. I've noticed when I commit to do things with friends, it gives me accountability. So things like that can be doing a book club with another family. Okay, we're going to meet with these friends in a few weeks. We need to read this book and finish it so that we'll be able to talk with our friends about what we read. Or doing co-op. I love doing co-op because it helps me have something to keep me accountable for doing it, taking my kids to, and we go and we get it done and we have a lot of fun and it's helps a lot. I've heard about this with the body doubling tip, especially when you have like ADHD or you're easily distracted. Sometimes you can't focus because you're by yourself and you're in your head, but when you have a friend there, then it helps you focus for some reason. So yeah, I do that when I'm cleaning a little bit. I like to use a podcast or a YouTube video. You can pop a YouTube video on. It helps you have some more motivation to get things done that you need to throughout the day. But doing things with friends has helped me so much, having accountability to finish what we start and to make sure we commit to the things that I've told my kids that we're gonna do. So hopefully that tip helps you as well. Thanks so much for watching the 10 quick tips for the easily distracted homeschool mom. You guys are awesome. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. I would love to chat with you about this. I also have a few videos I've done in the past. These guys are oldies though, but they're goodies. And they go more in depth on a few of the things that I shared here on this video. If you would like to watch those, you can check that playlist out. Also, don't forget about my Living Books planner if you're a homeschool mom who needs that. And go find his joy among the noise. I will see you in the next one.